So logical reasoning objective, it's how the program actually works. This is a relatively simple algorithm, but it's a good one to test ourselves out on. So it's very similar to the decomposition objective in that rather than pulling it apart this time, I'm going to work through my code line by line and see what's going to happen and see if I can spot any problems in there and work out how to solve them. So a bit more concentration focus. Green flag is clicked, it'll set the score to 0, so I've got a variable and it'll be a score, and then we've got a forever loop kicking in. It's an if-else loop that I've seen earlier. So the sentence would read, if the sprite, so if the football is touching the mouse pointer, then it will change the y value by 40, so the position the ball is at will increase by 40. So at the moment it's at -8, so it would jump up and that would be +40 to that value if I touched it with the green flag. Okay, and it's going to change the score by, oh, this is clever. And it's not just increasing my score by 1. I'm going to decompose and pull it out here. The basic code would say change the score by 1. So each time I flick it, it's going to add 1 to the score. Okay, right. That'll be easy again. Let's just check to see if that works. So it's falling down the page. I'm hitting it with the mouse and it's going up and it's increasing my score all the time. Okay, I've got a handle on that. However, if I look at this operation here, it says change the score by score multiplied by a random number between 1 and 10. So the higher my score, the more points I'll score for flicking it. So as the game goes on, my score is going to increase. So my score's on 6 now. So if I drop that code back in, so every time I flick the ball, my score will increase by 6 times a random number between 1 and 6, so between 1 and 10. So it might increase by 6 or it might increase by 60 each time I flick it. That's brilliant. Let's have a check. Oh, hang on, it's not working. So this is where I need to use my logical reasoning. Why is that not working in my code? Well, it's multiplying this, it's using score multiplied by a random number. When I click the green flag, my score is set to 0. So there's an error in my algorithm there, because if the score is 0 and it's multiplied by a number, my answer is always going to be 0. So in this code, my score will never ever increase. How could I change that? How could I correct it? Well, the easiest way to do it would be to just have it, when I click the green flag, my score is set to 1. Then it'll be, the first time I flick the ball, it'll be 1 times a random number. So that works. The final bit of my code is else, and then so if I'm not touching the mouse pointer, it will fall down the page and it's going -1 to -5 value. So it's going to be falling down the page at a variable rate. Okay, so let's just check to see if it works. Is it doing what I expect? Each time I'm flicking it, I'm scoring points. Oh, hang on, this time I'm scoring really quickly because it's multiplying my score each time. Okay, so that game works. Next part of it would be thinking how to make it get a bit better. I mean, maybe the falling rate was a bit slow, maybe this was a bit generous, but there's things to think about from a logical game point of view here. So that is using logical reasoning to explain how this works. I'll just read through it. If I'm touching the mouse pointer, it jumps up. If not, it's falling down the page. Detect and correct errors. Well, I found an error of my scoring system and I've corrected it quite simply just by putting in a value there. So explain how they work, read through them, look at what's happened, look what's meant to happen, and then see, does it happen? If it doesn't happen, work out how you can correct it. And that is the main skill in this area of the curriculum.